Hey, what's going on, people? You got the Great Gatsby Real Estate here. If you don't know, I'm a real estate agent in South Florida. I specialize in commercial and residential real estate.
Yeah, just I own and manage a property management business in Central Florida. So if you ever interested in investing in, contact me, contact Neri, get you right. Anything you need, let's do it.
As you heard the man says. So we're gonna get straight into it, people. What we're gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about residential real estate and commercial real estate.
Yep.
We're gonna discuss the investing in that, how to go ahead and acquire homes, the 7 steps to move forward to acquiring a home, and what decisions you should make when it comes to residential investing or commercial investing, or even if you should even consider investing.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about all those topics here today.
You mentioned that 7 step.
7 steps.
I like how you explained
yeah.
it, man. You go ahead and.
All right, so people, we're going to talk about the 7 steps in acquiring a residential property.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to acquiring a property, there are 7 steps. Step number 1 is to make sure that you have exceptional credit. Okay, so if you have good credit, it's really important. You don't always have to go this route, but that's the best route. This is the best route you should take.
Yeah.
Make sure you have good credit.
What's a good credit?
Good credit is you want to have like a 700 or better, preferably 720.
Yeah.
And if you're on the low end, you want to be like 680, but you want to be in the 700s. It's better for you, and it's better for your family for the future.
Facts.
Okay. I can't stress that anymore. You should have good credit before applying for a mortgage. So that's the second step. Okay. So you fix your credit, and then you apply for a mortgage with a lender. Okay. Once the lender goes over all your documents and everything, they're going to make sure that they give you a pre-approval letter. Okay. So once the lender gives you a pre-approval letter, you then go back to the realtor, and then you and the realtor go ahead and locate property on the market.
Yep.
All right. So then after that, which is we're around the 4th step now, once you
So the first step is
your credit. Make sure you have good credit. If you don't have credit, you're going to have to do these 7 steps. If you do have credit, it's only going to be 6 steps for you. Okay.
Second step.
The second step is actually going to a lender.
Third step.
Step is going back to your realtor with the pre-approval letter.
And now we're in the 4th.
The 4th step, you and the realtor, you then go and scan the market and locate a property. All right. Once you find that property that you desire, that you want to go ahead and place an offer on, you hope that the seller actually accepts the offer. Now, if the seller accepts the offer, you're in business now. Now, what you do is you go back to the lender to get the funds. The lender is going to give you the funds so that you can go back to the seller and be happy on closing date. Then you can close, because if you don't have no money, you can't close.
That's a simple way to put it. Is commercial, because you've been working in Central South Florida for a minute.
Yeah, 7 years.
Do you see any difference between like buying a residential property and a commercial property?
Yes. This is a big difference. Miami is a very oversaturated market, as well as very competitive as well too. The inventory is very, 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 very low. I mean, there's a lot of new construction, but the new construction is mainly vertical building, where it comes to like condominiums. Okay, not so much of the single families, where there is single families, but condominiums, condos, villas, townhomes is mainly those things. You can, there are houses as well too, but mainly a lot of condos and penthouses and so on and so forth in the Miami market. So it's there. And I noticed that Central Florida has, tell me a little bit about Central Florida market.
Well, Central Florida market, like they're always building. It's not mainly because a lot of people think there's a lot of properties in Orlando, but it's like cities outside Orlando that they're building.
Right.
Windermere, Winter Garden,
right.
Apopka,
okay. The cities, the surrounding cities.
Yeah, surrounding cities.
All right. Got you.
So, if you're looking to purchase in Orlando, there's still properties available, but mainly all the new constructions, they're outside of Orlando, which is 30, 40 minutes away.
Wow. So we're going to go back into that topic when we was discussing the 7 lucky steps to go ahead and purchase a property.
Yeah.
So let's say, guys, if you just to give you a little insight, there are 3 loans that you can acquire, you can get to go ahead and purchase this property. You got FHA, you have conventional, and you have VA. FHA, that's mainly like your first time home buyers, but that's coming from the Federal Reserves. Conventional, that's a different ball game, and then you have VA, which comes from the Army, from the government. Anybody that's a veteran. So, there's different terms that you have to take in order to get those loans. But the easiest and the most simple one is the FHA loan. A lot of first-time home buyers, they usually go that direction. Okay. And it's usually easier for people to get that because, the minimum is 3.5% down with a 600 credit score. But don't rely on that 600 credit score. Go and fix your credit.
So, what's the big difference between the FHA and conventional?
FHA, you could put 3.5% down. With a conventional, that's more for like investments, and you're gonna have to put like 20% down. And it also depends on if you're talking about, if you're closing on a condo or if you're closing on a single family, that's where we get a little more complex there. But we'll talk about that another time. But FHA is an easier route for somebody that's trying to go ahead and purchase a home for your family. If you're not trying to flip, if you're not an investment, and you just want a home for you and your family, I would recommend going the FHA route. Okay. But, if you are into investing and you think you're going to invest the property pretty soon, go the conventional route.
As far as who gets the VA loan?
Veterans. The veterans, the people who serve the country. So it's a really good loan. And when homeowners and sellers, they see somebody coming in and try to acquire their property with a VA loan, they typically take it. It's like cash. So they typically will go with that option and take somebody that does have a VA loan. Yeah.
You mentioned the 7 steps for residential.
Right.
Are there steps for commercial? Are they similar?
Well, no, it's not really similar when it comes to commercial. Commercial is very complex. Residential is very simple, is more simple, and commercial is more complex. There's more complexity with commercial. Residential, you get a loan and you close on a property. With commercial, you can't just do that. The simple way to put it is that because, your asset, you have to actually, analyze your asset that you're trying to acquire. So whether it be you doing, you may be trying to buy a land, and that land or a property, a commercial property, and that property may have 10 entities tied into that property. And that's where the complexity comes in place.
So if I was a new investor, would you recommend me to jump into residential or commercial?
If you're a new, unexperienced real estate investor, I would recommend you going into residential real estate first. I'm not saying that you can't do commercial. I'm saying you should not do commercial just yet. I think it's okay for me to say, hey, you should get your feet wet and try to get your feet wet and try to understand the business a little bit, understand contracts, understand as-is contracts, understand addendums, understand loans, and understand these things before you make that jump into commercial real estate, because commercial real estate is so cutthroat that they don't care if you're a new investor or you're an old investor or a savvy investor or an experienced investor. What it is what it is. There's nobody there that's going to hold your hand when it comes to commercial real estate.
Well, look, I understand. What if I'm new, right? And I just hire a professional real estate agent that knows commercial. Is there any benefit in that?
Yes, it is. There is a lot of benefit in hiring somebody. That's just like if you don't know something, you go and find a professional. You seek a professional that does possess the knowledge that you don't have. Okay. So as long as you go that route, you should be fine. And if you are looking for a commercial agent, that's me. I'll help you out. Anyway, but yeah, for the most people, I think that you should definitely go the residential route because it's a lot more safer and it's easier for you to get into, opposed to commercial real estate where it could get really difficult and you can, one little hiccup can just mess your whole deal up, and it could hurt you in ways you probably can't even imagine. So the safer option for now is to go into residential investing, understanding your investments, as in if you're buying single families or you're buying multi-families, duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, anything's in those are like the safe areas right there when it comes to residential, or even flipping, or even renovating. That's your safe part in residential real estate. Commercial investing is more so like you're trying to acquire a shopping center, you're trying to acquire a building, like an apartment complex with like 50 units. You're trying to acquire, a restaurant, anything other than what you can live in, is commercial. but go the residential route first. It's easier. And fix your credit so you can be able to take out the loans and so on and so forth that you need to go ahead and turn yourself into a serial investor so you can go ahead and invest in commercial after you become a serial investor.
Facts. All right, that's some good information, man. So, you know, like Neri mentioned, if you guys interested in commercial real estate, he's the guy. Residential, holla at me. We'll Lemuel Property Management. We'll take care of you, give it everything you need.
Right,
take
right.
it from step one to until we get to the end, and, you know, just get your income going.
Passive residual income.
Ooh,
That's what we want.
yeah.
We want that, okay? And it's time, in today's age, it's time for us to be able to generate wealth for our family, our communities.
Definitely.
It's really important. We possess special knowledge that we would like to teach and express to other people. People like ourselves, people that's not like ourselves, but we want to be able to help those people who don't know